for the last couple of decades, we've been very focused on this narrow range of cognitive skills. We've really convinced ourselves as parents that what matters is IQ. And I think that what that's done with parenting is convinced parents that they're part of this race, especially early childhood. It's what a couple of economists call the rug rat race, that we've got to get all the information we can into our kids' heads as early as possible. And I think that's pushed parents to be more protective of their kids, that they're worried about any little failure that it will impact the senior year GPA and the chance of getting into an Ivy League school. But in fact, I think what we're finding is that it is in dealing with failure, dealing with real adversity throughout childhood, that kids learn character. And what the research suggests is that character is at least as important as IQ, and quite possibly more important when it comes to real success. The one thing that I hope that people take away from How Children Succeed is that this idea of character that I think we often think of as fixed in place, as just something you're born with. You're either this kind of kid or that kind of kid, or this kind of adult or that kind of adult, in fact is very much malleable, that we can really change ourselves. And when we're talking about kids and character, that parents play a huge role in helping kids develop character, and so do teachers, but so do lots of us, mentors, social workers, people in the community. And I think that's a hard idea for a lot of us to hang on to. Either we're sort of scared of this idea that character does matter, or we think that character is just fixed in place. So the 7 character strengths that KIPP in New York City and Riverdale have come up with are grit, curiosity, optimism, zest, social intelligence, self-control, and gratitude. So far, I think they are the only 2 schools that are using that particular list of 7. And in some ways, to be honest, I think that the actual makeup of the list is not that important. I mean, I think there are certain ones that we know a lot about, like self-control and grit and optimism. But I think, if you were to swap gratitude for integrity or something, I don't think it would make a huge difference. In lots of ways, I think that it is about this way of thinking about character that is the most important thing that I take away from the character report card. This idea of giving a message to kids, character is something that you can change, and we're here to help you figure out how to change it. I think the ultimate measure of whether we succeed with a new kind of approach is really going to be having kids who are graduating from college, who are going into adult life, feeling happy and secure and confident. I think it's all the measures we've always looked at for success. The more challenging question, I think, is what kind of markers we look for along the way, because we know that there are these character strengths that lead to those happy outcomes, but we don't always know how to measure them. So this idea that KIPP has of a character report card or character growth card to measure these skills, I think is one attempt. The grit test is another, but I think we're still figuring it out. I think those sort of interim assessments is still something we're experimenting with.